I'm here today because I wanted to start an altered book, an altered junk journal book. And so I thought maybe there's someone that would like to come on this journey with me where we create whatever. We create an altered junk journal book, as well as discover maybe a little bit more about our faith and how those two work together and come together. Join me, if you will, and we'll see what kind of things that we make and what we discover along the way. So the first thing you need is a book. There's lots of places to get different books. You can get them from flea markets. You have a book that you might have a swear word or two and that's offensive to you, don't use that book, or know that we're going to cover it up. The other thing that we need to keep in mind is the size of the book. So this is a really nice size. I really like this size. Let's see how many pages. 398 pages. And I like it. I even like that the pages are kind of not smooth, but I need one that's bigger. And the reason why is because if you take an 8.5 by 11 copy paper, just your regular stuff for your printer, and you fold it in half, it's too big for inside this book. It's too big, so that's not going to work for me for this altered book. So I'm going to put this one aside. This one, I love the color of it, and it's actually embossed, which is really cool. So I might try to do something that brings that out naturally, but this is a fairly big book. This one has 474 pages. So I like working with this size book. And then if I was to fold one of those regular papers in half, it would fit on a page and even have a little bit of a border. So that's what I'm looking for. So that's all you need for this video, is just a book that you want to alter and some paper clips. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is we need to save a couple of papers at the beginning, pages at the beginning, because we don't want to pull the papers away from the spine. We want that to stay intact. So to prevent the book from falling apart, we want to keep the first few pages. And actually that's the picture that's embossed on the cover, so that's pretty cool. So I like to keep around the first 5. So let's see, how many do I have? One, 2. There's usually 2 that are attached to each other. Definitely keep those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So sometimes this is how many I'm going to leave, knowing that this is a book over 400 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So keep 5 or 6. And I'm going to paper clip them so I know not to rip any of those out. And there's so many tutorials on YouTube that you can watch. I have a few of my favorite channels, and I've just learned this by watching other people do it. There's no really right or wrong way to do an altered book. There's just some things to keep in mind. And so let's get started. So we want to keep the first page, and we're just going to put it over to the left, and we're going to rip out 8 pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've taken 8 pages out, and there's the tear pages out, so you might be able to see where we've torn out. I'm leaving those. That's okay. I want to leave those because if I was really to get in there and tear them all out, it would pull away from the spine, and I don't want that. So I'm going to take these two on either side of where we ripped out, and I'm just going to put a paper clip there because I might turn this into a pocket from the top, from the side, or I might just glue it together. Not sure. So that's why we're going to just put a paper clip aside. Now, if you have had a hard time ripping paper out of a book, this might not be the video for you. I find it very, very relaxing and very, very good. Now, I've already started to make a little bit of an error, and that is I needed this to come on this side before I started ripping out, because now we'll see the seam. So I'm just going to correct that now before I get too far. And I am going to keep those two together. I'm going to rip out this one, and I'm just going to tuck this with this, and we'll figure out what to do with that later. So even when you think you make a mistake, it's not really a mistake, because we can use it to our advantage later. So take the next page, flip it over, and now we can rip out 8 more. And we're going to bring those together, and we're going to use a little paper clip so we know that we're going to do something there. If you were to tear one out and put it the other way, that will tell us where we are at in our counting if we get lost. So just like that, I've torn out one. And I'm just tearing out a couple of the little pieces. Not going all the way, just a couple of them. And I'm just pulling back a little bit. There we go. Okay. And so let's see, I've done 2 now. So with this one, I think I want to create a pocket. So that's where we tore out. I'm just going to take the right page and make a triangle. I'm just lightly pressing down because I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to really make a crease there. So I've just slightly folded that. That goes over, and see, I have a pocket. I have a pocket that we can use later for something. So I'm just going to put those two together and start again. And this is what we do until the middle of the book. So just keep one and then tear out your 8. Now this would be 8. And I don't want to pull this one out because I think I want to use that maybe somehow. Like if we did the same thing that we just did, but we folded it like that, you could see a bit of that. So that might be something you want to save, whether it's the title or there's some drawing there. I'm not sure. So I'll pull it out. So page 8, out you come. I think that's 8. I lost track, but that's okay. So we did a triangle fold. So now let's take our right page. So there's where we've ripped it out. So I'm taking the right side and I'm going to fold it over almost to the seam, but not quite, just lightly folding it. And that provides us with another little tuck spot. Okay, put those two together and let's see where we're at. Our pile of book pages that we're ripping out is getting bigger, and that is okay, because all these pages were tearing out, we are going to use them in different ways. We're going to make different things that we're going to make and put back in here. So even these pages are going to be used. Don't get rid of them. Don't think they're useless. They're not. And so we just put them to the side. And if you've been junk journaling for any length of time, this pile of ripped out book pages, especially if you do altered books, gets really big really fast. And so they're great for a lot of things. And we'll discover those things together. So I'm going to put those aside. I'm going to lift it up, and as you can see where we've been taken out, there's gaps. That's what we want. If we didn't pull the book pages out, we wouldn't be able to make an altered junk journal book, because there's so many pages, and as we put things in them, it gets bigger and bigger, and then you have what you call alligator mouth, and it hurts the integrity of the seam, and then your book's just going to fall apart. So this is why we're taking pages out. Reminds me a little bit about our faith walk, and how, you know, God has to take some things out of our lives that maybe aren't healthy for us, a relationship, a bad habit, and it's painful, it hurts, but we have to let him do it so that he can put beautiful things in its place. So yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit about that. So I want to maybe do a double pocket. So I'm going to make a small triangle, not crease it too much. So there's the first one, and then this second one, I'm going to make a bigger triangle, and there we're going to have 2 pockets on this page. I love creating pockets and hidden spaces for journaling. All right, so we're not at the center yet, so we're going to keep going with ripping out our 8. Okay, put those 2 together. Boy, it goes by fast when you're just ripping things out. There we go. Not quite at the center yet. And sometimes your pages are a little bit harder to remove, and you just be patient, take your time. There's no rush in doing this. And the more you do it, the better you get. So be encouraged. So we did that one. Oh, another one that I like to do is, let's do where we make a double tuck. So I'm only folding it over just a little bit. I have no measurements, so just a little bit. So that it goes over there like that. So you got a pocket there. And then I'm going to take the next one, and I'm going to make it all the way to the spine, fold it. That's a very crooked one, but that's okay. And so then this is going to become two spots, 2 tuck spots. Okay, so let's just take a look. I have a feeling we're getting closer. What do you think? I think the middle might be maybe around there somewhere. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going with ripping our 8. Okay, we'll put those 2 together. Now, I've seen different people do this different ways, where they do a few and then they stop, and then they decorate all their pages. I've seen where they glue their pages together as they go. Again, there's no right or wrong. It's your book. It's your discovery. It's your journey. What you might think works ends up not working, so you have to do something else. So Again, that's the beautiful thing I love about junk journaling is there aren't mistakes. And I'm still not quite at the center, so I'm gonna do it again. 8 more pages. And some people do 5 pages, then 6 pages, then 7, and then I repeat that. It's whatever you want to do. Not sure, I lost track. I lost track. So there you can see some of them came out a little bit harder, and I'm just gonna tear a couple of those down a little bit, the ones that I can get, just because we don't want too much bulk. But again, we want to keep the integrity of the spine so it doesn't come away. So after you do this a little while, you kind of get a feel for it. So those two we're going to put together. I'm not sure what I want to do with that one. So again, we'll just paper clip it, and I know we're getting close. I'm thinking we're about halfway. Close enough. So to make the junk journal balanced, we need to kind of do what we did here at the back. So when I get to halfway, I stop, and then I go to the back and I do the same thing. So we kept about 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. We kept about 6. So I'm going to paper clip those so I know not to do anything with those. And then we do the reverse. So instead of going to the left with the page, we're going to go to the right and then rip out 8. So again, we're just going to paper clip that. There we go. Some pages come out easier than others. Again, take your page, put it to the right, and then rip. Some pages come out really, really easy, and then some not so easy. Depends on the paper that's in the book. These are a little bit thicker pages. That's 7. And then this page is blank. And I really like that. Oh, what to do? I love a blank page. Blank page, you can journal really well on a blank page. So, if I want to keep this blank page and not see where I've ripped out, I could hide it that way. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to rip it out. And it will come back in a different way. So that's number 8. So let's put those two together. Okay, so the first pocket we made was a triangle, and now it's going to go this way. So the left page, book page, we're going to just do the triangle and put it on this side so that we have a pocket on this side because we're trying to balance it out. So, oh, look, there's a blank page. We get to keep that one. Rip out 8 more. This is really raggedy there. That's okay. Okay, that was a little too raggedy for my liking, so I'm just going to rip that out now. Remember, we did one where we had Okay, so this one, we have the double tuck. So fold this one down a little bit. And sometimes if you don't know where you want it, you can do it this way. So fold the opposite. And then we can crease it back. So there we shall fix you later page. And then this one we would take all the way to the back. Look at how crooked that is. Don't worry about that. We'll fix it all when we go back through it. But I will paper clip it. There we go. That's a terrible fold job, eh? I'm not going for perfection. Nope. It's not about perfection. It's about the process. And that's the beautiful thing about junk journaling. You'll hear me say that a lot because it's just so true. Okay, we'll put that together. Okay, so that's how much we got left. So we can keep going and making... Oh, look at that. There's a blank page. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back a page and rip out a 9th page there. Put it with this one so that I can have this beautiful blank page. But we need to continue on with our tearing. Okay, put that together. Now sometimes, especially when you have a book that has over 400 pages, even when you tear out the pages, sometimes you don't know that you need more pages torn out until later when it gets to be too bulky. And that's okay, because as we begin to go through and make pockets and tucks, we might need to glue pages together so that we don't end up with a really, really big, wide book that we can't even work in. Because the whole point of junk journaling is creating something we can use, that we can, journey and discover and write. So I'm just trying to clean this up a little bit because it's a little bit thicker down here. Oh, look at this chain. That reminds me. When I was younger, I used to make chain paperclip necklaces and thought that was so beautiful. I was so proud of my paperclip necklaces. What are the things that you remember? Oh, see? There's another one of those beautiful pages. Oh, you know what I forgot to do in my excitement seeing a blank page was I didn't remember to put a page over. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to take this page because I've ripped there. I want to hide that, so I'll just put that together and fix it later. think we're getting there. We're getting closer. Now, if your book is, you know, in the 300 pages, this won't take you as long. They're not tearing out very nicely down here at the bottom. Leaving quite the bulk. Okay, so let's create a pocket. What else did we do at the front that we haven't done? Oh, we did a double triangle page. We haven't done that yet. Okay, let's do that. So again, because it's harder to do, this is where I want it. So I'm just making a small triangle there. Come over on this side, fold it over, and then this one triangle is going to be a little bit more so that it creates a double pocket. Getting the junk journal ready takes the longest. It's like our faith journey. It's not about rushing. It's about the process. Building a foundation is important. Taking your time with the foundation. Can't remember where I left off. Ah, that happens a lot. But that's okay. All right, we are almost where we need to be here at the middle. So that's how much we have left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to just take out 5. That on that side. And then those two go together and we are where we left off from the front. So let's take a look. Look, I got a little. So that looks like we took out a lot of pages. And as we add things to it and make tucks, pockets, and decorate it and everything, it will go wider. So that is a good foundation to work with. And I might go back in and I might, where I have those torn ones that might be a little bit wider than I'd like there's some here that I'll just go back in and just kind of try to rip a little bit more out so that it's not as bulky at the bottom. But that's it. So all you needed today was a book. So I hope you found a book and that you're going to come on this altered book junk journaling journey, faith journey with me. So yeah, it doesn't look all that pretty right now. And maybe your life isn't looking all that pretty right now, but in the right hands, beautiful things are going to happen. So thank you for joining me at the table in the junk room, and I look forward to coming back and having you join with me as we go back in and we start gluing some of these pockets and folds and getting it ready for whatever we can create, because we're going to create whatever here at the table. So thank you very much. Have a great day.